This evening, in a shocking development on the west bank of the Marara, a farmer has admitted to burning the body of a man who has been missing for 3 months. The farmer claims he stumbled upon the body ensnared in his electric fence, but eyewitnesses' accounts suggest otherwise. Shifting to the legal arena, Ghana's chief education officer faces contempt proceedings for issuing a directive hinting at pay cuts for teachers during the ongoing strike, conflicting with the court's interim order. The GTU's case against the government's decision on teachers' pay and union dues is ongoing, with global representation on the horizon. Turning to law enforcement, the Customs Anti-narcotics Unit has issued wanted bulletins for 2 individuals in connection with a narcotics-related matter. In government initiatives, the Minister of Human Services and Social Security is leading efforts to modernize pension delivery services. The launch of an online portal for old age pension and public assistance applications aims to encourage the transition to efficient banking payment options. Lastly, in Mexico, preparations are underway for the country's biggest ever elections, including the presidency. However, the election season is marred by violence, with killing starting even before the campaign officially commenced. Welcome to this broadcast of Channel 2's Headline News Update for February 29th, 2024. I am Bibi Bacchus. Thank you for joining us. First up, in a shocking development, a 59-year-old farmer has admitted to burning the body of a man he discovered dead on his electric fence in Lagrange, West Bank, Demerara. The deceased, identified as 22-year-old Shaquille Jones, had been missing for 3 months before the gruesome discovery. According to the farmer's account to the police, he stumbled upon Jones's body ensnared in his electric fence upon returning home from work one afternoon. Recognizing Jones, the farmer removed the body and proceeded to burn it using tires on a nearby plot of land. He maintained to authorities that he did not cause Jones's death, insisting that the young man was already deceased upon discovery. The truth behind Jones's demise might have remained concealed had it not been for the intervention of his 2 friends who witnessed the farmer dragging Jones's body while they hid behind a mango tree. One of the friends, a 16-year-old boy, eventually decided to come forward with the information. He recounted to the Lagrange police station that Jones was electrocuted while fleeing from another farmer after attempting to steal citrus fruits. The narrative provided by the teenager revealed that they had trespassed into the farmer's property to steal fruits, prompting a confrontation with the landowner wielding a cutlass. As they sought refuge on a neighboring farm, Jones became trapped on the electric fence, succumbing to electrocution. Despite their attempt to rescue him, Jones tragically perished. Upon hearing the teenager's account, authorities accompanied him to the scene where the incident occurred. They discovered that the farmer had dismantled the electric fence and replaced it with barbed wire there. Among the remnants of the farm, skeletal remains, burned clothing, and tires were found. The farmer has since been taken into custody as investigations persist. In other news, Ghana's chief education officer, Saddam Hussein, found himself before the High Court on Wednesday, confronting contempt proceedings for issuing a directive that hinted at pay cuts for teachers despite an interim court order instructing the government otherwise. Hussein, who had disseminated a memorandum to regional education officers on Tuesday, instructed them to continue collecting data on teachers' attendance during the ongoing strike. In the memo, he stated that the government wouldn't pay teachers for the days they didn't work, citing temporary orders by Justice Sandal Kissoon. However, these directives conflicted with the court's interim orders, prompting the contempt proceedings. During the hearing, Hussein apologized profusely and committed to rescinding the directive immediately after the contempt hearing's conclusion. Justice Kissoon criticized Hussein's actions, noting that they could be seen as an attempt to undermine the court's authority. While Attorney General Alan Nandalal represented Hussein, the judge reminded him that he had no standing in the matter. Justice Kissoon emphasized that the contempt proceedings were essential to uphold public confidence in the judiciary. Last week, Justice Kissoon issued temporary orders preventing the government from deducting salaries from striking teachers and withholding dues to the Ghana Teachers Union. These orders came in response to a case filed by the Ghana Teachers Union challenging the government's decision regarding teachers' pay and union dues. The teachers are into their 4th week of industrial action, headed by the Ghana Teachers Union, demanding higher wages and better working conditions. Meanwhile, on Tuesday, The Ghana Teachers Union disclosed that the Global Union Federation, which represents 32.5 million teachers and education workers globally, intends to represent the concerns of Guyanese teachers to the International Labour Organization of the United Nations. Moving on, the Customs Anti-Narcotics Unit has issued wanted bulletins for 2 individuals while taking 1 individual into custody for questioning. The wanted bulletins were issued for Tyrone Hamilton, with addresses listed as Republic Park, East Bank, Demerara, and Public Road, Kitty, and Gavin Anthony Mackey of Republic Gardens, Peters Hall, also on the East Bank. Kanu has stated that the men are sought in connection with a narcotics-related matter. In a recent development, Kanu officers acting on information received went to Republic Gardens, East Bank, Demerara on Tuesday, where they encountered a lone female occupant, Jessica Mackey. A subsequent search of the premises led to the discovery of traces of a suspected narcotics substance. Mackey was arrested and escorted to Kanu's headquarters for further investigations. She is currently cooperating with authorities as the investigation progresses. These actions come in wake of recent events, including 2 airport employees who were apprehended while attempting to smuggle over 150 pounds of narcotics onto a British Airways flight last Thursday. It is believed that these incidents are interlinked. The arrested individuals, 26-year-old Travis Seeley and 20-year-old Kobe Baker, employed by separate companies operating at the airport, were charged with trafficking in narcotics. They pleaded not guilty and were remanded to jail following their court appearance on Monday. Stick around when we return. Chinese medical delegation donates 1.36 million medical supplies to boost Ghana's healthcare. And Minister Prasad leads modernization of pension services.
Experience more than award-winning speed.
Way more.
Get the best that LTE has to offer on Digicel, officially the fastest mobile network in Guyana. Ookla, the company behind Speedtest, recognizes Digicel as the best mobile network in Guyana. With the best LTE experience and the fastest data speeds, experience it all with Digicel, the award-winning network for everyone, everywhere.
Good girl forget things.
What's the problem, Granny?
I want money for borrow for those surgery. I was dancing and I fall and fracture my hip.
If you need some quick money, you should check Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop, Lot 238 South Road Border, Georgetown. Get jewelry made to order in just 72 hours. We also accept vehicles. Lender's, best rates, longest payback period.
Boys, I get through. Plus, I could dance again.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Furnishing your home or office has never been easier. Here at Kissoon's, our inventory of locally made and imported furniture, offered at amazing prices, will leave you wanting more. From vinyl, floor rugs and carpets, bedroom, dining and living room sets, mattresses, pillows, office desk, chairs and filing cabinets, outdoor benches and tables. We have a piece of furniture for every room imaginable in your home or office. Check out our flagship store at Industrial Site Rijnveld or one of our branches in New Amsterdam, Port Morant, Clifton and Camp Street. Kissoon's Furniture, furnishing homes for over 50 years.
Sneakily with a gift of sight from Modern Optical Services. Let our professional team examine and prescribe what's best for your eyes. Common smiles make fashionable faces. See us for a full line of optical services, including brand name and prescription eyewear. Modern Optical Services, 316 Middle Street, Georgetown, telephone 226-1082.
Welcome back. The Minister of Human Services and Social Security, Dr. Vidya Prasad, is spearheading efforts to modernize pension delivery services, encouraging pensioners and public assistance recipients to transition to the convenient and efficient banking payment option. At a recent ceremony launching the online portal for all-age pension and public assistance applications, Minister Prasad expressed optimism about eliminating the need for physical payment booklets in the future, envisioning a shift towards using the banking system. There are currently over 1,500 active users of the banking system, a number expected to rise rapidly. The ministry has seen a significant increase in senior citizens receiving pension, with projections indicating further growth. Minister Prasad highlighted the success of direct delivery programs, which have benefited thousands of pensioners and public assistance recipients. She emphasized the simplicity of the process, urging citizens to embrace the new method of receiving benefits. The process involves relinquishing physical payment booklets to the ministry and signing up for the bank payment options through the online platforms. Monthly payments will be deposited directly to the recipient's bank accounts within the first 5 days of each month. The ministry has established a dedicated desk at its Lamaha Street office to assist citizens further. Additionally, data collection exercises are planned to improve the accessibility of ministry services, marking a significant transition in service delivery. In other news, the Ministry of Health received a significant donation of medical supplies valued at 1.36 million Ghana dollars from the Chinese medical delegation team, accompanied by Ambassador Go Haiyan of the Chinese Embassy. The donation, presented to Minister of Health Dr. Frank Anthony, is earmarked for allocation to critical departments at the Georgetown Public Hospital Corporation. The donated items include advanced medical equipment. During the donation ceremony, Minister Anthony underscored the importance of the ongoing collaboration with China in strengthening Ghana's healthcare sector, expressing gratitude for China's continuous support and stressing the value of the enduring partnership. Ambassador Goa Haiyan highlighted the new Chinese medical delegation's dedication to improving the functionality of existing medical centers. She praised the efforts of the previous team in establishing 6 medical centers and assured of the current team's commitment to enhancing their operations further. Don't go away after the break. Mozambique fighting. Tens of thousands flee renewed attacks. And South Korea's low birth rate. Survey blames pressure on young people to compete.
Not a single bar of service.
Not with us. Digicel officially has the best mobile coverage in Guyana. Ookla, the company behind Speed Test, recognizes Digicel as the network with the best mobile coverage in Guyana. Be it in Aishalton or in Etteringban, we got you covered.
Digicel, the award-winning network for everyone, everywhere.
Good girl forget things.
What's the problem, Granny?
I want money for borrow for those surgery. I was dancing and I fall and fracture my hip.
If you need some quick money, you should check Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop, Lot 238 South Road Border, Georgetown. Get jewelry made to order in just 72 hours. We also accept vehicles. Lender's, best rates, longest payback period.
Boys, I get through. Plus, I could dance again.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Sneakily with a gift of sight from Modern Optical Services. Let our professional team examine and prescribe what's best for your eyes. Our smiles make fashionable faces. See us for a full line of optical services, including brand name and prescription eyewear. Modern Optical Services, 316 Mill Street, Georgetown. Telephone 226-1082.
Furnishing your home or office has never been easier. Here at Kissoon's, our inventory of locally made and imported furniture, offered at amazing prices, will leave you wanting more. From vinyl, floor rugs and carpets, bedroom, dining and living room sets, mattresses, pillows, office desk, chairs and filing cabinets, outdoor benches and tables. We have a piece of furniture for every room imaginable in your home or office. Check out our flagship store at Industrial Site Rijnveld or one of our branches in New Amsterdam, Port Morant, Riverton and Camp Street. Kissoon's Furniture, furnishing homes for over 50 years.
Now we take a look at what's happening in the region and around the world. Mexico is gearing up for the biggest ever elections. More than 20,000 offices will be decided, including the presidency. But voting season in the country has become intertwined with violence. This time around, the killing has begun even before campaigning started. Al Jazeera's John Holman reports.
In Mexico, it's become as predictable as stump speeches and voting booths. During election season, a surge in political violence. In Marabatío, a small town in Michoacán state, the killings began even before the official campaign start on Friday. Armando Pérez, the PAN party's candidate, and Miguel Ángel Zavala, the ruling Morena party's man for mayor, were gunned down on the same day earlier this week. So far, officials don't know why they were killed, but there are strong suspicions.
Was this done at the hands of organized crime?
It could be. I'd say that everything points to that being precisely what it is, because of the way in which they acted.
In Michoacán, as in several other areas of the country, criminal groups are all powerful and often play a large part of deciding who gets into power. And making sure political opponents don't make it to the polls is all part of their playbook. Mexican President Andrés Manuel López Obrador called the killings unfortunate. More than 600 officials and politicians have been killed during his administration. This election, there are worries that criminal groups could go further, even interfering with voters on election day in June.
I think that even at the polling booths, I don't know, these people can show up there and they can intimidate. And if they can intimidate rich people, it's going to be even easier to intimidate the poor.
And where is the state? If not absent, then weakened in the gang's sphere of influence. As Mexico heads into the biggest elections in its history, that almost inevitably means more politicians will die. John Holman, Al Jazeera, Mexico City.
Internationally, renewed attacks by armed groups in northern Mozambique have forced tens of thousands of people from their homes. Fighting in the gas-rich province of Cabo Delgado began in 2017 when fighters affiliated with ISIL declared a campaign to establish a caliphate. Al Jazeera's Malcolm Webb reports.
All the people here ran for their lives when armed men attacked their villages. Reports of beheadings and homes being set on fire are widespread. Many of them have arrived here in the town of Nampala in the last week.
The sounds of gunshots woke us up. They began to chase people. We watched it as they cut off the man's head with machetes, and we ran away with the little we had. Those terrorists are evil.
Armed groups started attacking the police and army in Cabo Delgado province more than 6 years ago. Some have since pledged allegiance to the Islamic State. It took control of several coastal towns, stalling preparations to extract offshore natural gas worth tens of billions of dollars. Nearly 3 years ago, soldiers from Rwanda and southern Africa came to help the government forces. They now control much of the coastline once again. French oil giant Total is expected to resume operations later this year. The armed groups still operate, but further inland.
A group of men arrived with firearms and machetes and burned the cars. We were terrified, so we fled here. We have been here for a week and we haven't eaten almost anything. All of us who came here have been suffering.
President Filipe Nyusi has said the security forces have the situation under control. Some of the people here have fled before and had returned home in the last 2 years, only to be forced to flee again. They join about 500,000 who are displaced by the conflict, with many living in camps. Malcolm Webb, Al Jazeera.
Finally, South Korea's population has been declining for years at one of the fastest rates in the world. It's a result of plummeting fertility rates. Women of childbearing age are having fewer children. Al Jazeera's Eunice Kim reports.
Cha Ji-hye is a mother to quadruplets. She's on extended leave from her career in nuclear power plants to raise her toddlers with the help of her mother while her husband is working overseas.
4명이니까 한 명은 안 돼요.
I've used a babysitter before because there's 4 of them. I hired 2 at $2,700 each, so we spent $5,400 per month on babysitters alone. What family can spend that kind of money to raise children?
Cha and her husband decided to try for a baby after he moved to a company with generous childcare benefits.
The biggest plus in my job switch was the culture of the company. They consider my participation in family affairs not as an irritation, but as something completely natural.
Such workplace culture is rare in a country infamous for fostering workaholics. In fact, government data shows only 6% of fathers employed by large companies and 2.3% of fathers in small to medium-sized businesses used their paternity leave in 2021.
Men use parental leave much lower compared to women, but the thing is that we shouldn't blame men for not trying to use this benefit because there's a lot of empirical evidence that if men use parental leave compared to women, they experience greater penalty.
For years, the government has invested hundreds of billions of dollars to try to reverse the depopulation trend, including $750 monthly parent pay for couples with newborns, but with little success.
A recent central bank report found that a root cause of South Korea's ultra-low birth rate was the competitive pressure young people faced in all aspects of life, including anxieties linked to employment, housing, and childcare.
The bank suggests easing competition by encouraging the use of parental leave programs, providing more incentives for people to relocate out of the capital region where half the population lives, and increasing the number and quality of jobs for young people. All tall challenges in a swiftly graying country where the number of Koreans in their 70s exceeds those in their 20s. Eunice Kim, Al Jazeera, Seoul.
This brings us to the end of the regional and global news coverage. Up next is the 3-day weather forecast. And that's Safety V2 Headline News for this Thursday evening. As we take our leave, we invite you to follow us on Facebook and YouTube. You can tune in tomorrow at 6:30 a.m. for a rebroadcast and at 5:30 p.m. for more news. Until then, please take care of yourself and each other.